Welcome back to another episode of the Brew and Ink podcast. This is season 3. Okay, and welcome to another episode of the Brew and Ink podcast. We are happy to have you guys, all our faithful listeners, back with us to wrap up this last character point of view for the midnight showing. But before we get there, we have a table full of people, and we've got a topic to talk about. You have yours truly, Stephen, SM Freehand, and next to me is Bill.
Hi.
And across from him is Katie.
Hello, hello.
And then we have Evie Porter.
Hey.
And we've got Britt Mooney.
What's up?
What's up, what's up? So, we want to talk to you guys about social media and how do we each, could we each do it individually in a sort of a different way, but how do we each kind of cater our social media presence differently for our professional, our writing content versus our personal content? And I know for most of us, I think we all have some degree of a Facebook page, and then some of us also have Instagrams and things like that. And we definitely do have, you know, our personal page where we have our thousands of friends and close acquaintances.
Thousands.
And then we have our professional pages. I myself, I don't have a writer's professional page yet. I made one on Instagram just kind of as a way to start chronicling just my journey with writing and all that. But I used to have a professional photography business that I did, and I had a page just for that. And so I'm very familiar with what it is to do, you know, a professional page separately. Then we got a Brew and Ink page that's set up very much in that same sense that it's as a professional page. It's separate than our personal page. And it'll allow you to do separate things like run polls and things like that. You can have more engagement and interaction with people that are coming on there. But it also allows you to streamline your content so that you're not getting pictures of your children sparsed in between pictures of your book release or, you know, for us, a podcast episode coming out. But how about for you, Bill? What do you kind of see as the difference?
This is a huge subject for me right now, because it's one that I've been putting off for a long time. Institutionally, I hate Facebook. Sorry. But institutionally, I hate Facebook. I despise, I'm not a big social media guy, okay? I also had a hard time keeping up with a blog page. So there, you know, go figure. I'm better at writing. I'm better sitting down and doing the work than I am at trying to communicate with people about that work sometimes. And so I know that I need to do that. And I've kept my Facebook page rather clean of, you know, political stuff and all that, although I'm a very political person. I keep that off of Facebook, mainly because there's no point in arguing with anybody on Facebook. That just doesn't make any sense. but you know, so Facebook is always been a mystery to me of what exactly is going to show up on your page and what isn't. And what I've discovered recently is, of course, the professional page concept, which I had one separate for another thing I was doing for a while. But how much more control you have with that. You have a whole lot more control with what goes on that page. People can't just post things. You have absolute control of what goes on that page and what doesn't. You can forward stuff from your regular page, your personal page, to that.
Right.
You can do it one item at a time. You can do it as groups of information. You also have a whole lot better analysis of what's going on with the page, who's coming to see the page, you know, how many people and who specifically, I believe, on a professional page. You can see all that information, which is really good. And I'm still not the guy that says Facebook's the greatest thing in the world, but I do understand that Facebook is still, even with all the problems they're having, the best advertising platform in the world. Okay? And because of that, it doesn't matter whether I'm using it personally or not. The agents and publishers that I want to talk to are going to want to know whether I am fluent in that language. They're going to want to know if I'm capable. And I think that's a pretty important thing. It's whether or not you're absolutely using it, you still need to be there. You need to have a presence and a capability with it. So I've been working on that a lot lately. There's still a debate out there, in fact, about whether or not you can have two accounts Some of the Facebook people still say no, but Facebook themselves actually say that you can have multiple accounts, one as a professional account and one as a personal account. And but some of the Facebook support people still,
I don't know that that's a debate. There are two different kinds of accounts. So you have personal accounts and you have business accounts. You can have as many business accounts as you want.
But they're all connected to your personal.
But they're all connected to your personal account. You can't have more than 2 personal accounts.
Well, no. What I'm saying is
People setting up another account.
There are people that are setting up another account, and there are a lot of people that say that Facebook has legitimized that because they needed to, and so that now you can set up another account. But then even some of the Facebook support people say no, you can't. So there's the big question about whether or not they're going to come along and delete your page after you spent a year
have
building
to
it.
have another
Just
email
make a
address.
new page with a different email.
Well, that's my point. Is you use a different email.
Now they use phone number to track.
And then they use a phone number
And
to
don't
track.
connect your phone. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Can you still make a Facebook without a phone number?
No.
I don't think so.
You
Not
have to
anymore.
have it. You have to have
Yep.
a phone number. It's a
What the
validation.
heck?
It's a validation of who you are because there's so many
Dude.
frauds going on.
And
Yeah.
exactly.
They're
I
really
would-
controlling it.
If I didn't already have a Facebook page, that would turn me off completely.
Right, I agree. I
Many
didn't like it
people-
at all when they required my phone number, but it was a validation thing. They required it. You know what they did last week? They actually asked people for their password to the email account that was associated with Facebook.
Say
That's-
what?
That
That's
went
a
about a
scam.
half a day before that got shut down.
Yeah.
That's like a classic scam. Things you
Yeah.
don't do.
Yeah,
Right.
things you don't do. Anyway, I shouldn't have gone there, but I was just saying that this is something that I've been really focused on the last couple of weeks, especially. I've been trying to be focused on it for a long time, but it's not my thing. It's not my favorite thing. Mainly because it's kind of addictive. You get out there and you start doing it, and it's easy to get distracted from really doing the work.
Well, and once you set it up, you really do have to
Maintain.
keep the content flowing. Yeah, it does. It does become something that takes an hour or two of your time. When you jump on and spend time on it.
Yeah.
How about you, Katie? What do you have going on in the Facebook world?
Right now, I am an observer on Facebook. I've got a page for my art, but it is not updated. But one thing I really love about Facebook, and probably the top reason why I haven't deleted my personal page, is because of other artists' Facebook pages. Facebook makes it so easy to interact with these people that I wouldn't otherwise. I've been able to personally talk with and ask questions of some of my favorite writers and artists and gotten personal feedback through that.
And we're not strictly talking about Facebook tonight either. We're talking any social media. So
We'll
anything
get-
else that you would
don't
use.
worry, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But since on the topic of Facebook, just that interactivity of the platforms that I use and have seen, Facebook allows far more interaction than any others. And I'm coming from this. I don't use any social media account for my writing. It's all art based, so that's my angle. So it'll be a little different and different priorities from what the rest of you guys are doing. My main social media hub right now is Tumblr. I've got a personal page, and I recently put together an art only page because I get chatty and I want something that's distinct. So when I first started using Tumblr, I had just left DeviantArt, which was a pretty big image sharing website. But they've kind of gone to the dogs and anime porn recently, so it wasn't my place. And LiveJournal had just kicked the bucket at that point. But Tumblr allows reblogs really easily, and so pictures and posts can be shared very quickly through thousands of people. One of my top posts is just for a dice bag that I made for my sister for Christmas like 2 years ago now. And it's a fish. It's really cute. And that's still getting reblogs, even though I posted it and last talked about it like a year and a half ago. For art, Tumblr is getting a little dicey to use they were taken over by Yahoo last year, I think, and they decided they didn't like all the porn and not safe for work stuff on the website. So instead of doing anything about the porn bots, they decided to send a computer to find female presenting nipples and other adult content, which has unscrupulously targeted everybody except the female presenting nipples. So, like, I've got a picture of a photo of an otter that I took that was flagged as inappropriate. So,
You gotta watch out for those otter pics.
and a lot of the artists that I follow have been forced to look at other avenues. So I don't know how much longer Tumblr is going to be viable for me. We'll see. But compared to other art sites that I've used, I get far more views through Tumblr right now. However, Tumblr continuing to go down the drain, and sites like Facebook cracking down on different bits and censorship and just the nature of the internet to come and go. It's really important, I think, to have a personal website set up. You know, a main hub where you link back all of your content to that is gonna stay.
That's good. Yeah.
Which brings up an interesting question, because this is an issue I ran into. Your personal website and your Facebook page or whatever you have, you want their title to be as close to the same thing as you possibly can get.
Branding.
And that's branding, and that's been rather difficult because in one case you may have the availability of, this particular name that you can use, and in another place you can't. I can see where it'd be easy for you since you got name of Bloom, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if possible, do all your social media accounts and set up a portfolio website. Honestly, I have no idea how that works for you writers. For artists, it's a lot easier. You just toss your pictures up there. My main website, which again hasn't been updated in a while, is illuminaryart.com. My Tumblr is illuminaryart.tumblr.com, and I'm on Facebook under the same name. Good luck finding me there, because I don't really use that right now.
So you've done well keeping
Yeah.
the same brand name through kind of everything. Yeah.
That's only fairly
Consistent.
recently, and because of my website, I wanted everything to track back to my website
Yeah.
as my main portfolio. But I've had to do a lot of name changes, just keeping things consistent recently. Like over the last year or so, I've been really focusing on having that brand consistency.
How about you, Evie? You got a brand that you're running through all your social media platforms?
Kind of. We'll go with kind of.
The Evie Porter Show.
I'm seriously, it's just ep5.com. I'm real special here. No, I think, especially in this group, everybody knows that me and social media don't get along at all. Due to many things, from a past abusive marriage to many other things, where I'm fairly protective about what information I let go. And everybody, even on my Facebook, knows that anything I post, like, if you see a post from me, it's really important or really awesome. So check it out. But I don't understand Instagram at all. I don't get how pictures do anything. And Tumblr scares the daylights out of me.
Good.
So,
Not wrong.
and then I have a Twitter account, and I think there's 2 tweets on it. So,
Tweet.
I do understand that it is an important aspect of marketing. I'll be honest, I don't have enough skin in the game yet to really care. And then Lee and I are working on a book together, and all of a sudden I really care. So, personally, if I had a choice, I would go with just a simple blogging thing, and then kind of mix that a little bit with Facebook, simply because, I mean, I'll be honest, the only reason why I have a Facebook account is because I'm a third culture kid, which means that all my friends are overseas.
Yep.
That's really it. Otherwise, I'd totally get rid of it, minus the fact that it'll probably make a publisher later on really angry. So as I said, we don't get along, but I have plenty of people. What should I say? The better way to put that is the people that are on my Facebook mean something to me, and that actually really matters to me. So when I put content out, people whom I love respond immediately, simply because they know I don't post much, and so it actually kind of works in my favor, because when I release something about what I'm doing, people are really interested because they're interested in in me.
You haven't oversaturated your social media presence.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't, and not only that, but I mean, people even know if you don't send me a message of why you're asking me to be your friend, it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Like, even if you're like friend of a friend, I'm like, I don't know you.
What are your intentions here? With
I've
my
actually
Facebook
written
page?
that.
Yeah.
I have written that to someone going, I see your friend request. What are your intentions? And they're like, sorry. You know,
we were friends.
like, I thought we were friends. We're not. I'm sorry. On that note, my friends even know that if I haven't said, hey, we're friends, it means that we're not friends. I announce it. But, as I said, the cool part is that Lee and I are now working on this marriage book that changes everything. I have a website, you know, and it's connected to my Facebook, which is evporter.com. But we want to create a name for this new blog, and we would like to separate it in Facebook, because it's such different content. It's from, you know, fiction and having fun and just kind of a hobby I'd like to turn into a career, to something I'm so serious about that I don't want the two to mix. And I like the fact, which is sad, you're supposed to, you know.
No, that's good.
But, you know, to me, it's interesting to be in that situation and go, when you have a love for something, and I love writing, but it's very different than Lee and I's passion for marriage, and the fact that we've met plenty of people that just common sense is missing sometimes. And writing this book, all of a sudden you love it enough to face things that you would never face, which is, for me, Facebook. I'm sorry, Instagram, I still can't do you. But I can do Facebook. And so we're creating, you know, a separate Facebook for it. And we're excited to be a presence. We're excited because this is going to be more interactive. People can ask questions, and we'd like to be able to respond. And you know, this is exciting for me to want to have social interaction with others. And I think that's why I don't like social media.
It finally settles, having that separate page finally settles do I talk about business on my Facebook page?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
To
separates
what
it.
extent can I talk about business on my Facebook page?
Right.
It settles that, because I never really I always thought a Facebook page was a personal thing. You know, and this graduation from Facebook as being a personal way for college kids to hook up to being a business tool has been a big cultural change. And
To get together.
yeah,
You're going to want to re-say that. To get together.
to get together. Yes, I know.
Thank you. But exactly, for me, I have never gotten over the fact that my personality likes fellowship and friendship. I'm all about people. I mean, everything in my strength says that I like to connect to people and I like to get to know you on a personal level. Facebook has wrecked that, in my opinion. And so, interestingly enough, with this new blog and this book that's coming out that we're working on, it's all about interacting with others. It's all about getting to know you and being there for you. So now I'm interested. But
And
you're
so
right.
There you go. Yeah.
Hopefully soon we'll have
Yeah.
links for that page.
Yeah.
And of course, if you need to if you're doing another book, you can create another page for
Exactly.
that.
And that's a cool part. As he said, the way that I do it is the whole separate business pages. And I love the fact that you can create as many as you want for different things. I have one for my massage business, obviously. And it's obviously separate from my writing business. That would be really weird. That'd be really weird.
I don't know. I mean, giving a good book and a massage,
And a massage
that
at the same
could go really well.
It's better than some other things.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's my opinion. It's not personal enough, but all of a sudden it might be. In
Awesome.
short.
So, Britt, when you've got skin in the game, where do you post it?
Yeah, so the whole game of writing has changed in the last 20 years in the sense of, you know, Lifeway bookstores just closed a month ago or so, like all of them, all 170 stores. Was it Borders closed, all their stores? Barnes & Noble is
Let's shed a
teetering.
tear for Borders.
Oh,
Best
yeah.
bookstore.
Oh, I love
Seriously.
Borders.
So independent bookstores are coming back. It's kind of like the same wave of independent coffee shops, independent craft breweries. Like, it's kind of that same wave of, but it's not a huge thing. and then there are other ways to kind of put your physical books out there, but it's become an issue where if you can't sell online, then publishers aren't interested in you. You could have the best book in the world, but if you can't sell online, and what you're selling is not your book, what you're selling is you. Because, and this is something I said recently, books, being a writer or an artist, being a creator is one of those things where, like, when I see a really cool car, and maybe some people do, I guess, but like when I enjoy my car, I don't think, who designed this car? Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe some people do. Like, maybe some people like really get into the history. But I think a larger percentage of people, that's why there are credits, right? I mean, if they see a good movie, they want to know more about that actor or actress. They'll look them up, or right, like the artists in our culture, for good or ill. And I think part of it's just human nature. We want to know them. We want to know the author or who wrote this book. Like, this book really impacted me, and I think that's part of the design of creation, right? Like, we want to know the creator. Like, we want to know the person who created this thing that affected us, because it's such an emotional thing. Books are. So go, yeah.
I follow a writer on Tumblr that I found through her art posts, a lady named Maggie Stiefvater. She's written The Raven Cycle, which I haven't read yet, and one of my favorite books called All the Crooked Saints. But the reason I started following her was first the art, and then just the small personal content that she was posting, mostly about her cars. And she writes essays for like Jalopnik and stuff, and they're great. I wish she would just write a book about cars. But the sole reason I found her and bought one of her books was because of her presence on Tumblr that mixed persona with her writing and her projects. And, because of how popular she is, she's a very well-known writer in the young adult world. She doesn't post personal information, but she posts personality.
Yeah.
Right.
And that can be a key difference. But
I think that's a great way to say it. It's people are looking for personalities rather than
So people
everyday
know
life. Yeah.
People know you're not just a writer, right? I mean, they know that about you. So, I mean, think about when you read, those of you who still read books with an inside jacket, right? Where, you read about, it says about the author. Like, you want to know, where do they live? Like,
how many dogs do they have?
How many dogs do they have? I mean, you want to know that stuff about them. And so a lot of people in the industry will encourage you, if you're an author or an artist, to have a separate whatever account. If your thing is Facebook or Instagram, they encourage you to have a separate account and then be strategic about what you put on there, but not have it be business minded. Like, yes, you can do ads and that can be a great way to make money, but it's about the look, it's about the brand, it's about,
and you're not constantly trying to sell people
you're
something
not selling
on your
people
site.
stuff. You're literally trying to connect with them, and you're being intentional about doing it with coffee or your dogs or cats or music that you like or bands or what. I mean, like, there's all kind of ways you can connect with people. That doesn't have to be me showing pictures of my kids, right? I mean, it can that might be something I put on more of my personal page. But so for me, and I'm not great at it yet, in the sense of, like, I don't have a lot of numbers on my Facebook or Instagram yet, but it's one of those things that I'm still learning. Like, just you put out there, you keep bringing value to people, you keep engaging people, because that's just where we are with writers. And those publishers too, they want to know that they can work with somebody. They want to know that they're not going to start working with a jerk. Like, I don't know if he's listening to this, so maybe he can correct me. But I'm almost certain. I'm about 95% certain. My agent checked me out on Facebook for a good 3 months before he really committed
Signed
to
the dotted
anything.
line, yeah.
And that's kind of how important it's become at this point. Like, it's not one of those things where I'm just saying, when I've been at writing conferences, I've heard from a lot of writers who were told point blank, their first question, what are your numbers? What's your platform? And then they'll start talking to you.
Wow.
Because that's just because they want to know, can people find you on Amazon? Like, I mean, because now it's not, does your book look so great on a bookshelf that people will pick it up and read the back cover? Like, they want to know, can you sell books on Amazon?
Are you curating content?
Are you creating content that are drawing people in, even though it might have nothing, but it might not have anything to do with your book specifically, but it's something where you're engaging people, and it's just kind of the way it is. Like, gone are the days, and they've been gone for a while, but gone are the days where you can just like write a great book, you send it into a publisher, and they love it, and no one ever sees your face. No one, like, because it's going out to all these bookstores, right? I mean, that sort of industry is gone, and so that's where. So for me, it's about trying to connect, and I think you said it well, Katie. Like, trying to connect with the things that I'm interested in. So movies, books, writers, coffee,
Cars.
whatever. I'm not really that interested.
Animals.
Whatever it is, like the stuff that I like to have conversations about, the stuff that I like to do.
We got a lot of hits when I hashtag Dunkin' Donuts the other week.
I know. So I try to be engaging with that. I try to use pictures. I try to use and just your copy, just telling a cute little story. I mean, just like she's saying about the woman with the car. She probably put, not cute maybe, but she put interesting little stories that are 50 words long. I mean, like,
They're not cute. They're very interesting.
right? And so, but that's a totally different kind of writing. Writing a little story that's a couple sentences or something that can grab people and hook them in. I get a lot of engagement on my personal page on just statements I make, right? I mean, people are interested and they share it. I mean, it's about you bringing value to people, and that's actually kind of rare. Like, without a picture, for people to like something a lot and share it, it's pretty rare. But you just have to get good at that kind of writing, and so I do mostly Facebook and Instagram. I do Twitter. I probably have the most numbers on Twitter, but Twitter has become basically an ad platform. Like, it's like, I know, like, the big names, they'll put out their thoughts and stuff, but for most people, they're just putting out ads of stuff. But so I do use it for some things, but those are the three that I do. What about you, Stephen?
Well, back to me. Like I said before, I've got my personal pages and I've got my sort of professional pages. I was lamenting earlier how I've been using this Instagram page for our Brew and Ink page for over a year now, and then I had got a new phone and I was putting the counts back on there, and I was like, oh, I forgot I had this page under my name for Instagram. I was like, let me bring that back up and start posting on there again. And like within a day, I had way more followers on there versus the quote unquote business page. And I was like kind of irked, like, what the heck? I've been actually putting content on this other page for like actively for a year now, and then this other one. So you do kind of come across that speed bump of, where do I post this? Am I going to get more responses through a personal page if I share something there? Or am I going to get more responses on, keeping it, like, on my business page, everything's about writing, everything's about photography, everything's about whatever.
Yeah, and if you post the same stuff on your personal page as your business page, there's no reason for anyone to check out your business page.
Yeah.
Like, it's true. Again, like, you have to have that sort of strategy about it.
What about, I kind of want this opinion. What about posting it on your business page and then creating like a share. To your own?
That's great.
Yeah,
you can
because that's what I
absolutely do
always
that.
That's the way to do it.
That's what I do on Tumblr, because my business page, my art page, doesn't have nearly as many followers as my personal one does. And so I'll post I'm trying to post pictures first on my art page and then reblogging those to my personal one, so that the reblogs so that the Luminary art page is what's seen first hopefully,
yeah.
and to draw traffic there.
Yeah, keep that branding going in the same direction and coming out of the same place. Does anyone else have anything to say on that? I know I've seen some notes scribbled down, but
I mean, the only thing I had to say with Brit is that I think what people really want to see is why did you put your heart into this project?
Yeah, stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, then, I think that pretty much wraps up our topic for the evening, and we will transition into the story. And just wanted to say, tonight's Random Rambling is brought to you by Unveiled Brewing Company, double IPA, and various amounts of, what would these be
Liquors.
called?
There's some
Liqueurs,
moonshine and there's some
Irish
creams.
O'Reilly's white chocolate, and some eggnog, Dutch eggnog.
I
So,
believe
yes.
that someone said there were Christmas leftovers.
Not a sponsor, any of these. But if you'd love to sponsor us, please send us crates and crates.
Just
of
so you
stuff.
know, none of that kind of stuff gets left over at my house after Christmas.
Right?
And on that note, we will transition to Bill's part of the story. He will be reading from Blake Sheldon's point of view. And I hope you guys had fun voting on your favorite Blake Sheldon alias. That was just a little fun poll for you guys. And without further ado, we will jump into his story. We just want to say thanks for listening to our podcast. If you are interested in learning more about writing and how to become a writer, check out our syndication page, seriouswriter.com. They have articles, resources, classes, videos, and a podcast, the Brew and Ink Podcast. Again, check out seriouswriter.com. Thanks for listening. The Midnight Showing, Episode 5, Blake Sheldon Interview.
I'd be playing Vegas, but guess where they go look for comics that owe child support? Yep, they go to Vegas. So here I am, sitting at a club table, staring at a lump under a tablecloth. That's the body of Aaron Betts, who died foaming at the mouth at my show. I swear, he just farted. Wolf sits down way too close to the lump and wrinkles his nose in disgust. I read people for a living. It's where I get my jokes. I'm checking this guy out and I don't get him. I play ships. On a ship, you're never more than a few minutes from your door. So unless you're a nutcase or someone out to make a show of being something you're not, you don't carry a book to a comedy club. It's not where you go to read. Wolf carried a book to my show. In my book, that makes him a certifiable nut job. Also, good joke material. With some time and a little better lighting, I would have spotted the man when he was at the bar and hooked him into the set. A guy like that is perfect material for a couple of callbacks when things start to flop. Not that my jokes flop. There I was sitting at the table, halfway through working out a routine on Wolf, when Mr. High and Mighty himself with his book and his little notepad interrupts my work.
Mr. Sheldon, how do you know Mr. Betts?
Who? I asked.
Mr. Betts, the deceased.
The heckler, he meant. He put his hand on the back of the lump and looked sympathetic, like the guy had been his BFF. Sheldon's not my real name, I said, testing him. Wolf tried to stay calm, to keep that aloof edge of arrogant mystique that got him the job of interviewing us all, but let me tell you, I can push some buttons. Give me 5 minutes and I can make a guy forget his own name. That's my shtick. It's how I run the room. Some guys, especially cruise comics, stick to the blue material, dirty jokes. That works for them, not so much for me. I like to find a good character in the room and start working on them. Then I hammock them between the written jokes. Your ordinary customer will laugh along with me even if they hate the jokes. Not this guy. This guy would be pissed. The little play with my name, which was all true by the way, already that little play with my name was messing with him. He read from his notes and tried to get back on track.
The security officer said your name was Blake Sheldon?
Little bit of cruise trivia, folks. They call him a security officer because he's the guy that got stuck with the job this week. Around here, it usually means being the one that politely asks drunks to head back to their stateroom. Sheldon is a stage name, I said. The pad shook in Wolf's hand. I was definitely getting to him.
What's your real name then?
I have several, I said. Wolf gave me one of those chin-down looks that said the conversation was over and we're moving on. Ex-wife number 2 used to do that. I moved on. Nice shirt, I said, waving my hand over the billows tricolor mass. It wasn't a compliment. I thought the colors would look better on one of those tents you see in Arctic expedition documentaries. You in a bowling league, I asked?
No, Mr. Sheldon, I don't bowl.
You look like a bowler to me, so what brings you to my show?
There's been a murder?
I knew that. Also that he couldn't have known before the show that there would be a murder. So he was trying to be smart and play my game, not answer questions. Yeah, I saw it. I have a pretty good view of things from the stage, I said.
You witnessed the murder?
I witnessed the guy dying in the middle of my act. I guess I'm a little relieved to hear it was murder, I said.
You're happy that he was murdered?
He made a note on his little pad. Don't get me wrong, mister, but if there's a choice, I prefer murder. Someone just dropping dead for no good reason in the middle of my show looks bad for me. Make sure you write that in your little pad. He made a note. You know, there's a bowling tournament tomorrow right here on the ship. Just saying, if you brought your ball, you could... And Wolf cut me off.
I don't bowl. So you're saying having someone murdered in the middle of your show makes you look good?
This guy was thicker than I thought. No, I said. I'm saying that somebody dying for no reason looks worse for me than somebody murdered. Would you go to a comedy show where people died for no reason? A little muscle in Wolf's cheek started to quiver.
You knew Aaron outside of the club, right?
No.
But Henri Cousteau...
Henri knew him. He and Henri teamed up to lose my money. Being someone's victim is not the same as knowing them, I said. He made another note in his little pad. I'd love to see that pad.
Abigail Goldstein?
The physical therapist.
Oh, Miss Goldstein, the physicist, reports that you assaulted the victim on the Serenity deck? Also that you made improper advances to her.
Yeah, she said that, did she? I didn't elaborate. I did sort of remember that night. I was 3 sheets to the proverbial wind, and there was a guy on the Serenity deck. Don't ask me how I got there. It's not my style. Maybe Tabby took me there. Serenity is her thing, definitely. Anyway, the guy kept moving. I swear, every time he moved, the ship rocked. I got it in my head he was rocking the boat, and I told him to stop. He was making me sick. Maybe I got a little loud, but I didn't punch the guy or anything. So, this bowler with the book and his little notepad is telling me that was Aaron. Well, it's a small world. No, really, a ship is a small world. And as far as me pulling that Joe Biden on that Miss Abigail chick, she's a piece of work. Henri got me set up with her, tells me that she's hot for me and she likes my chest hair. And I need to go set her straight before Tabby gets wind of it. I go to talk to her and the woman dumps her drink on me. Henri, I like to call him Henry just to piss him off, is a Class A piece of work, a fake top to bottom. That mustache looks like something from Hercule Poirot, but it's all nose hair and Rogaine. You want to know who killed that guy, tell Wolf? Take a good long look at Henri, the fake. Nothing he does is real, except for the margaritas. Makes a hell of a margarita. Henri the margarita killer. I'm thinking there's got to be a joke in there somewhere. Wolf wasn't biting.
Did Aaron's repeated heckling make it hard for you to do the show?
Nah. Guy like that just annoys people. Happens all the time. I lied. Most guys are drunk when they heckle and either embarrassed to come back or they get blockaded into their staterooms by their wives. Aaron was the exception. A genuinely devoted heckler. The man took it all the way to dying on my show. Talk about the heckler from hell.
You don't think more people will come to the show now?
I don't know what they taught this guy at the high school for bowling arts. But would you go to a show where random audience members drop dead? I don't think so, I said. Wolf closed his pad. He was back to being calm and steady, like it was just another day at the library sniffing bookbinding glue. Me, I'm shaking all over. I try to keep it all in. Being cool is part of the act. But this night sucks. This is my life, my show. I'm forever going to be known as the comic who had someone drop dead at his show. The flip side is I could get some decent material from this. Wolf is good material. Say, what's that book? I said, snatching it from under his notepad. Plagues and People was the title. There's got to be a joke in that somewhere.
Faithful listeners, that wraps up the story from Bill's point of view, Blake Sheldon, and now you have the option to go and vote on any one of our characters who you think has done it, who committed the murder. Yes, it is up to you now to solve the crime on our behalf. Help. We need your help. Please, get out there. Solve this mystery for us.
Dr. Wolf needs your help.
Yes, Dr. Wolf needs your help. But yes, so you can find us always on any of your podcast listening devices. You can find us on Apple iTunes. You can find us on Google Play. You can find us on TuneIn. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on YouTube
and Spotify.
And Spotify, yes. So go out and listen wherever you like to listen, and then vote on our Facebook page. You can find that, and also on our Instagram, you'll find links for those voting links as well. And as always, remember to raise that glass to inspiration.
I got one this time.
All right, and goodbye.
And goodbye. That was fun.
That's what she said.
I knew that.
I like this. I like the it's the whole different kind of point of view that you're pulling in here. I like it.
All right, good. Okay. Sorry, we're having a hard time here keeping a straight face in the show. Okay.